The purpose of this video is to show you how to run independent fog lights using a switch. So you can see the fog lights are on. This is the switch. I'm going to turn it off. And that's off. Turn it on. Off. Alright, let's get to the parts. First step is to get a toggle switch. This one has an indicator for on and off. This is a metal one. And it's got, you know, the back of the switch looks like that. Please know that the one next to it has all the plastics in it. I had to modify this one in order to fit the switch in there. So it goes right back in there. What I failed to mention is that I ran 16 gauge wire only because the side of the relay that I'm going to be running to is low voltage, so I don't need thick wire to carry any kind of amperage. I routed the wires behind underneath this panel, underneath here, and you can see my speaker wire here. That actually ends up going through this hole behind the clutch pedal. And you'll notice that I also have speaker power wire running to my sub. That's the red one right there. And we're gonna see that in the engine bay shortly. Oh, you're wondering, how do I get it from here to the engine bay? What I did is I used a very bright flashlight in the engine bay, and then came back inside here and poked my wire hanger towards the lights, because there are only two holes that I can see from the engine bay. Anyway, from the engine bay, put a very bright light, and then from the inside here, do your best to aim your wire hanger at those lights, and then you string your wires through. Here's a far out of the engine bay, and then I'm going to zoom in to where the speaker wire and the amp power wire come from. So as you can see, there's some holes there, and if you shine a light bright enough from the engine bay, you can see it from the inside, from that grommet. So disregard the amplifier power wire. We're just going to focus on the 16 gauge speaker wire only. The 16 gauge speaker wire, I then routed it up to here, looped it around here, and then I split the speaker wire into two parts. One that goes to ground, and then I'll show you where the other wire lands. The fog light relay lives next to the fuse box in here, and you will see that what I did is modify the relay and bent the two pins up or out. And then yeah, you're gonna see a red one here, and I'll explain the power. And the other side of this relay is where you run the ground with the speaker wire. So again, that speaker pair, one goes to ground and the other one goes to the pin on the relay that's closest to the fuse box. And then I chose a constant power, so now we're going to go to the constant power. So the constant power I have feeding into here, which, you know, you can leave the power pin inserted in and it will work fine, but I wanted to just have independent for fog and just run it straight. So I tap power, from the fuse box, and again I drilled a hole into this fuse box cover, and I chose this fuse because it's the fog light fuse, and that one goes straight to the power side of that relay. So again, power from here goes to the pin on this side, and then ground goes to here. The other pair of the ground, you find a good ground, and this runs back into the switch, and on the switch, just on and off. I think it was a really easy mod. Thanks for watching. I hope this works out for you.